for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Whether you're grilling burgers at the cabin or roasting hot dogs around a campfire, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth buns and rolls are a summertime essential. With so many varieties to choose from, including classic white and wheat, unsliced old-fashioned, brioche, gourmet French, and flavorful onion, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth has the buns and rolls your family will love. Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth, baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
Win big with Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort's $135,000 GMC Terrain giveaway. Earn entries every time you play through June. And with a little luck, you could land in the driver's seat of a brand new 2024 GMC Terrain. Join us every Friday and Saturday for our prize package giveaways. Win $300 every half hour from 8 to 11:30 p.m. and a whopping $1,000 at midnight. Then, on Saturday, June 29th, one lucky winner will drive away in a 2024 GMC Terrain. Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Has agreed on a 4-year deal to become their next head coach. According to The Athletic, it should be in the neighborhood of about $8 million per year. In other NBA news, the Bulls are trading two-time all-defensive guard Alex Caruso to OKC for guard Josh Giddey. In the WNBA, the Sky beat the Wings 83-72, and Angel Reese set the WNBA rookie record with her 7th consecutive double-double, ending with 16 points and 18 rebounds. In Major League Baseball, Aaron Judge has hit home run number 27 on the season, which leads Major League Baseball, but it's all Orioles against the Yankees, 11-5, and they're about to start the 6th inning in New York. The Royals are beating the A's 3-2, bottom of the 9th inning, and the Dodgers started things off with a leadoff home run from Shohei Ohtani. Will Smith, Freddie Freeman also homered, and they beat the Rockies 5-3. I'm Monty Bolaños.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in on a Thursday. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for being here. It is always a great day in the Black Hills. We know that. Welcome in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live weekdays 4 to 6. Just getting going on Fox Sports Rapid City. Yes, sir. 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side. Thanks for listening in the Black Hills. Also stream us anywhere, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Brand new online player, so you can easy access there. Click it. You've got it. The live stream at foxsportsrapidcity.com on your phone. Of course, this show launching on Twitter right now. The live stream's up. Welcome in studio. Watch us live on Twitter, X, at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show and interact with the question of the day. All that good stuff. Watch us live at Nate Brown Show on Twitter. And one more place, YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us, The Nate Brown Show. That's our YouTube channel, The Nate Brown Show. And we're all set. South Dakota Sports Talk Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Urgent Care, where me and my family go to get better when we're sick. Get into Black Hills Urgent Care. Proudly owned by physicians. Absolutely great care. We get it every time. Check in before you go, bhucare.com. Remember that, bhucare.com with the letter U. That'll get you right in, no wait at all. Open 7 days a week. Black Hills Urgent Care. If you start feeling sick, you have an injury, get in and see the team. Fast, affordable, convenient. They're on Haynes Avenue and also on Mountain View Road on the west side. Black Hills Urgent Care. Remember, the faster way to get better. Off and running on a Thursday. Let's look at the show. What's the Thursday mean? It means it's happy hour. Thursday happy hour coming up with Rob Kegron live in studio. And Rob has challenged me. Here it is. He challenged me last week. I said, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback for sure. I don't know that for sure. Is that way out of bounds? So my buddy Rob Kegron, who's going to be in the Drive at 5, our Thursday happy hour presented by Firehouse Wine Cellars, he said, let's just list out our top 10 NFL quarterbacks right now. Going into the season, who would you put in your top 10? So I did that little case study. I did that situation today, and I put some heavy thought into it. So I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to wait for Rob stepping in on the Drive at 5. So a second hour of the program is going to be fun. My top 10 NFL quarterbacks. And actually, I don't think I've ever done that. Like, all these shows do this top 5 and that top 5. I don't think I've ever done like top 10 NFL quarterbacks. And I said, right here, right now, let's do that. So we're going to do that coming up. Thursday happy hour on tap. Until then, let's go to the great guest lineup here. Frank Schwab is on from Denver, national NFL writer. He's based out of Denver. He's with Yahoo Sports. Frank Schwab at this time of year does his 32 teams. So he does his off-season power ranking. He does a big piece on every team, breaks it down every which way. He's been at 32. Who's ranked number 32? Who's ranked number 31? And today, I reached out to him specifically. He has his number 30 ranked team in the NFL. Who would you guess? Number 30. We've got him today. He'll unveil it. Frank Schwab, Yahoo Sports. Sam Herder's going to come in tonight talking college football, FCS, and some news out of the Pac-12, which is now like the Pac-2 with Oregon State, Washington State. I'm surprised by what they're thinking about doing, those two schools, Washington State, Oregon State. I'm a little surprised. Sam Herder's on it, college football FCS analyst for Hero Sports. He's on the way. And, of course, to the NBA, big news today, and I'm going to start there. I have to start saying it. Nobody else is saying it, so I'm going to say it. We'll get to Keith Smith on the way with his reaction to the story. NBA analyst for Front Office Show and Spot Track Keith Smith is on the way talking NBA and this J.J. Redick story. And that's where I'm going to get into things here. Okay, let's get you on if you want in. 720-1067. Join the program live on the studio line. I welcome you in. 720-1067 is our number. Barron's Wilson text line ready to go. Direct text the show, 720-1067. Direct text the show. It comes right in here. I've got it. 720-1067. That number, that's the Barron's Wilson text line. All right. I don't think this is crazy. I don't think this is hot take central. I really don't. Nobody's talking about this anymore, and I don't know if we've just forgotten about it. I don't know if it was just, let's have the national media discuss it for a little bit and then just forget it. Because nobody's bringing it up anymore, and I'm starting to wonder, now's the time you should be bringing this up. Now's the time it's real. Now's the time we should really see why this person didn't even get looked at for this job. Because this was thrown around by people, they get an interview, and they get an interview for this job, and an interview for that job, and then people talk about it for a few weeks, and then it dies. Why isn't this being talked about today? So what I'm discussing, and this just isn't a Rapid City take, but I'm biased, so I am going to bring some Rapid City love into this thing. J.J. Redick gets hired by the Los Angeles Lakers today, so if you missed it, you just got into your car, you're heading home on a Thursday. J.J. Redick gets hired to be the head coach of the L.A. Lakers, so that's the biggest story of the day by far. But my reaction to it right away, why didn't the LA Lakers even look or even think about Becky Hammon? I'm serious about this. This wasn't just an experiment. Oh, interviewed for the Bucs job and interviewed for another job. Well, they're just being nice. Maybe that's what it is. People discussed this last year. They discussed it last year before she took that job with the Las Vegas Aces. She'd go back a year and a half, 2 years ago. She took some NBA interviews, right? And people said, well, would they really go down this road? And I'm starting to look at it now and say, why don't people even think about Becky Hammon being considered to be a head coach like the Los Angeles Lakers? The Los Angeles Lakers were down to J.J. Redick, and they're going to put out all the smoke and all the fluff. Oh, he's going to be an NBA head coach. Somebody was going to get him. He just has the knowledge and the background and the player relationships. And so they put out all that stuff. I know. I hear it from Woj as well. I mean, we listen to Woj, right? The NBA insider. Well, J.J. Redick's just an up-and-coming. He's going to be the next big superstar NBA head coach. So nobody even talked about it anymore. The last couple of years, it's just been like, well, I guess Becky Hammon's with the WNBA, and she won the championship of the Las Vegas Aces. Does anybody care? I'm sitting here looking at it saying, how did Becky Hammon get interviews for NBA jobs prior and now doesn't even really get looked at for a job like the Los Angeles Lakers when a guy like J.J. Redick does? J.J. Redick hasn't coached high school basketball, let alone NBA. And so, well, there's some new guys in here that have done well. What about Joe Mazzulla at the Celtics? He was at least on a staff. I mean, Mazzulla was on a staff, guys. Redick hasn't even been on the sideline. And we're supposed to think the Lakers know because they've done what? Such a great job of hiring coaches over the last 12 years? Mike D'Antoni, Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Darvin Ham. I don't think anybody really lit it up since Phil Jackson. Nobody's really lit it up since Phil. I'm sitting here looking at the Lakers going, yes, J.J. Redick, they know more than everyone else. J.J.'s going to be the guy. This is all just the good old boys club. This is the good old boys club. J.J. Redick, former player, has a podcast with LeBron James. He's an analyst on ESPN. He has all the connections, and they're going to give him a shot, and he hasn't done anything to lead into, I can be the head coach of the L.A. Lakers. Well, you got to give guys shots sometimes. That's what I hear. You got to give guys shots sometimes. How about these first-year head coaches that have just come in off the street? Let me list a few and see how they've done. Steve Nash. How'd that work out in Brooklyn? Not very good. Isaiah Thomas. You remember Isaiah? Great player. Great player. How did that work out in Indiana? Not good. Here's one. Derek Fisher. No experience, nothing. Was hired by the Knicks. Derek Fisher with the Knicks. He won a lot of games. Wow, he knew basketball, man. Let's go back. Kevin McHale. Remember Big Kevin was hired by the T-Wolves? Yeah, that was a mess. And then you just look right through it. The Lakers haven't had their good history either. So I'm going to refuse to believe that Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss and the Lakers just know more than everyone else. So Becky Hammon got interviews for NBA head coaching jobs before, but now that she's actually won in the WNBA, she's been on a staff with Popovich forever. She was a coach in the Summer League where she ran the show. We can't even consider Becky Hammon here? I think it's goofy. I actually think it's goofy. Let's see. Who would you have hired to be the Lakers head coach? I'm just going to give you two options. I just want to see if we can get a little poll question here on the Nate Brown Show. And I'm serious about this, and I understand. I'm a homer. We can we can say that. but I wasn't the one interviewing her for NBA jobs before. I've actually shifted a little bit on this, saying I think Becky Hammon could coach an NBA team, and I think the Lakers would have been a good fit. Why? This whole thing with LeBron, he's about ready to leave. And so Becky Hammon can come in there and have some player development. You're not going to have to worry about LeBron for that much longer. And I think Becky Hammon might just be what the Lakers need. You want to talk about drama? You want to talk about soft? The Lakers have it all. And we're sitting here thinking that Becky Hammon couldn't coach the Lakers as good as J.J. Redick, who has zero experience. And I mean zero. That coaching resume for J.J. Redick is thin. Who would you have hired to be the Lakers head coach? J.J. Redick in one corner, or I'm going to give you Becky Hammon. Now, the argument is, everybody that says it, and I understand it, I do believe there's validity to it, whether you want to say it's sexist or not. There are people that are going to say the whole time that Becky Hammon or whoever the woman is couldn't control and coach an NBA team. They wouldn't listen to her. I think the one person that's different, that has the respect of players and coaches, that has a long history, that actually has done her time, that's learned the ropes, that's been on a staff, been all through the NBA game, it's her. Becky Hammon has done everything in coaching that you need to do to supposedly work your way into this spot. Yet we think the Lakers just, J.J. Redick's going to get a job from somebody. How? Why? Maybe Becky Hammon says, I'm fine with the Las Vegas Aces. Well, maybe. But I have a feeling she wouldn't mind being a head coach in the NBA, and I think the Lakers would have been the fit. I think the Lakers would have been the fit from a standpoint, hey, let's think about, she can player develop some of these younger guys coming up. LeBron and AD, they're on the tail end. LeBron's only got a couple of years left, right? And so I look at it, there's so much drama around the Lakers anyway. Do you think Becky Hammon would have added that much more? Honestly, if Becky goes to the Detroit Pistons, well, then that's the story. Becky Hammon's the story, not the Detroit Pistons. Do you see what I'm saying? Why is the Lakers a fit? The Lakers are in L.A., man. It's a huge market, a huge brand. They're drama city. It's LeBron and the whole thing. Bronny's going to get drafted there maybe. Becky Hammon's not going to be the story. Becky Hammon could control the narrative and could coach the Lakers and actually build a organization that wins. That's all. That's what she's done. Becky Hammon's shown she can coach in the NBA, and then she coaches in the WNBA and wins the National World Championship right away. Has the number one team in the WNBA. Yet we sit here and say, let's give J.J. Redick a chance. It worked out so well for Steve Nash and Derek Fisher and Vinny Del Negro with the Bulls, walking in off the street, no coaching experience. Let's go with a Vinny Del Negro like the Bulls did. That worked so well. Let's see here. Listeners responding. I think, Becky, what I'm telling you is she should have got a chance. And it appears, the Lakers were down to what? Was this their last option? I'm serious. They tried Dan Hurley. That didn't work out. They're like, let's go back to J.J. Redick. Is the Becky Hammon thing out of the picture now? Was that just something fun that people talked about? Or could we actually respect the job that she's done as a coach? And I believe she needs to be an opportunity as a head coach. Needs to get that opportunity. Has earned the opportunity. There's nobody else that really has, honestly, on the women's side. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
So, Becky Hammon, the girl who destroyed all the machos and pretty much destroyed the WNBA, because she wouldn't succumb when she was a player to the political beliefs.
Yeah, she was kind of an outsider there.
No. We're not talking Magic Johnson. We're talking LeBron. I'm a part-time surgeon. presidential candidate and historian and lecturer LeBron James.
Okay.
There's no fit. No real coach will go to the Lakers. That's why they
No
are
real
with
coach.
J.J. Redick.
Okay, that's interesting. You say that now. No coach wants the Lakers. I don't know if I believe that.
Coach,
I don't know if I buy
No real
that.
good coach wants LeBron James and LeBron Jr. James. He don't deserve the right thing. Come on, Nate.
Hey, I'm just telling you. I don't even know if the Lakers looked at her, and I doubt they did.
Well,
I doubt they did.
Nate, it's political. Becky Hammon, what Becky Hammon stands for, I can't believe they let her back in the WNBA as a head coach, but you got to go back to when she was a player. Go back. I did a lot of reading on this like the last 3 weeks. She went through everything Clark's going through, but for the same reasons. But see, here's my deal. I don't care Clark gets beat up night after night. You're a rookie. But when it's flagrant, that's when you got to start calling it.
Yes.
And your teammates, she has no teammates.
Okay, let me ask you. My question of the day: who would you have hired? You get your choice: Becky Hammon or J.J. Redick. Come on.
I just go Becky Hammon just to see how political and watch LeBron cry. And, I can imagine Becky Hammon wearing a Trump shirt.
I just think she's a good coach. I just think she's a good coach. It appears
she is, Nate, but come on, man. You're putting way too much stock in them. It's like you're putting them with Broncos, like the world's greatest.
All right.
Lakers, they're going nowhere. Nobody wants that team. Nobody. LeBron James Jr., are you kidding me? Nobody wants that. Dan Hurley is going to turn down $70 million.
Well, they should have offered him more, but nonetheless. All right, man.
All right, Nate. You have a great weekend.
Thanks for getting in. I just wanted to throw this out there and see how we feel today. Okay? Who would you have hired to be the Lakers head coach? I give you two choices, Becky Hammon or J.J. Redick. And to me, they're totally different, and not because it's man and woman. I think eventually some teams got to look at it and say, are we going to get a good coach here? Are we going to get somebody that knows the game, has been in the NBA, has done the work? Or are we just going to keep trying to fly and see what works here? Either go with a brand new guy with no experience, or we're going to rehash a guy like Monty Williams. I understand Monty. I watched Monty with the Suns. I watched a lot of Suns games the last few years. Monty Williams, he just won 14 games with the Pistons. He just won 14 games with the Pistons, and he's going to get paid $65 million because they fired him yesterday. I mean, it's an embarrassment. How do these guys who run these multi-billion-dollar organizations, and this is the right person? No experience, but I think J.J. Redick's going to be really good because, well, he knows the game and he knows LeBron. I think this is a mess. The Lakers have struggled for a long time since Phil Jackson. I just went through it. Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Darvin Ham, Mike D'Antoni, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel won the championship that one year in the bubble. That was the bubble deal, and then he went down from there. I mean, we either go with brand new guys that have no experience. We give these guys the chances, and then Becky Hammon's out here. What do you got to do? I'm serious about that. Let's see what the audience says here. Listener text. The Lakers wouldn't be a good fit for Becky. They're mismanaged in all aspects, from ownership to the GM and drama players. Well, somebody's got to clean that up. I think the Lakers are a good fit from the drama that's there. Then Becky Hammon wouldn't be all the drama, the headlines every time you turn on a game. It's Becky Hammon. They got enough drama with the Lakers, and somebody needs to get that team straightened out. Becky can straighten people out, I'll tell you that. Listener text, Nate, I guess LeBron didn't want to interview her. Yes. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What do you say?
There's no reason Becky Hammon shouldn't get an NBA job. She remember she worked for many years under supposedly one of the best coaches in basketball NBA history, Greg Popovich. So she has that.
Yes, that's big. That's big.
She won a G League title with San Antonio's team several years ago while she was still there, and now she's won 2 consecutive NBA, or she's
just
about
one,
to win
but
the second one.
Yeah.
So she's proven she's got the credentials, and I can remember the brouhaha that erupted when they first talking about having women officials in the NBA. And now you don't hear a word about it because they've obviously come in and done a good job.
Sure.
There's no cry to get rid of the women officials in the NBA. So
I honestly I think we're at a point where somebody should hire Becky Hammon, honestly, from her coaching prowess, her knowledge, her experience. I think somebody should do it. These guys that are getting jobs, J.J. Redick, he's done nothing. I mean, we have no clue what he's going to do.
Right. And we've had established NBA players who have come out when she was there at San Antonio that talking about she knows the business. She's a well-respected coach, and she was highly respected by several prominent players on that team when they were there, and she was the assistant coach. So she can do the job. It's just someone needs to give her a shot, and I don't know why this one didn't happen, because the Lakers were down to nobody. And I'm going, where's Becky Hammon in this mix? She was in the mix for other jobs, and now it's just not even in the picture? I don't get that. Major League Baseball does the same thing. They keep recycling these managers. One team, they get fired, and they get rehired by another. Just like NBA, same way. They got these guys that, have been proven losers, and they keep rehiring them and recirculating them around the league. And it's like, why don't you give some new people a chance? No, I'm with you on that. They couldn't do any worse than some of these guys honestly, keep recycling. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thanks for getting in. Okay. I appreciate that. No, I mean, how many times does the NBA have to do this? I mean, they just recycle guys over and over and over. Well, this is a brand new one. I know, and we've done this too. Do you know the only guy that hadn't had coaching experience that's won an NBA championship? There's been one. Do you know that? I was doing some research today. A little research on the Nate Brown Show. One NBA coach who comes in, didn't have any coaching experience. He came in and won an NBA title. There's only been one. Steve Kerr. And he was even in the front office. Like, they just didn't bring him in from a podcast with LeBron. Okay, so he was in the front office, and then he got the job with the Warriors, and it was kind of nice. He had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. It kind of worked out. Kevin Durant thrown in there. Not bad. So there's only been one coach. That's it. That has not had coaching experience that's won an NBA title. That's Steve Kerr. That is it. So who would you hire? J.J. Redick today or Becky Hammon? We know who the better coach is. We know who the better coach is. It's Becky Hammon. We don't know what J.J. Redick's going to do. Maybe he'll just light it on fire. I mean, he might just light it up with his guy LeBron James. They all get along, and we're going to draft Bronny, and it's just going to be great. I doubt it. Who would you hire? Let's see. Poll question on the Nate Brown Show. Question of the day. Hey, I like it. 62% of you say Becky Hammon today. 38% of you go with J.J. Redick. To me, it's a no-brainer. I don't even know why she wasn't appearing on the radar. Was up for other jobs, and now she's with the Las Vegas Aces, just continues to win the WNBA, has the NBA experience and the Popovich endorsement, and nobody's going anywhere, and we're going to go with another Steve Nash. Good luck. Frank Schwab's in next on the Nate Brown Show as we get going. Frank's ranking his 32 NFL teams. Yahoo Sports NFL writer. Today, he gave us who ranks number 30. 30. We'll start with that team next.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Race into summer in the seat of a newer pre-owned Harley from Black Hills Harley-Davidson. With over 500 Harleys to choose from, we are sure to have your next ride. Join us for our Race into Summer open house this Saturday. The first 140 people through the door will scratch and win a guaranteed prize. Plus, register to win a 2024 CVO Road Glide ST. We'll have burgers for free lunch at 11:30 a.m. and happy hour all day. It's the Race into Summer open house this Saturday at Black Hills Harley-Davidson in Rapid City.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet. Over 300 used vehicles you can buy with no money down and no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. Choose from GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Many late model local trades, plus used Chevys and GM certified pre-owned. Buyers on site paying top dollar for all trades. See us at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet or DennyMenholtRapidChevrolet.com.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
Are you ready for some rodeo action? Wild West Wednesdays at Hart Ranch Camping Resort are back at Max Steel Arena starting June 26th with weekly rodeos until August 14th. Gates open at 5 p.m. with performances starting at 7. Our first rodeo, June 26th, is Membership Appreciation Night, plus celebrating our 40th anniversary. Tickets available at the gate or at hrresort.org. Thank you to our major sponsors, True Grit RV Repair, Dakota Discount RV, Jack's Campers, Midwest Campers, Camping World, Sanders Sanitation, WeatherTight Exteriors, and All Pro Insulation.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
South Dakota Sports Talk Show live weekdays 4 to 6. The Nate Brown Show, welcome in. Thanks for spending time with us. Hope you've had a great day. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. You know the show's motto, right? We know that. Good stuff. Thursday happy hour today with Rob Kegron live in studio coming up in our second hour. Our guest host Rob Kegron's in tonight. For the first time ever, we're going to unveil our top 10 NFL quarterbacks. I've never done that going into a season or anything. So who are the top 10 best quarterbacks right now in the NFL? I've got my list. Rob's got his. A guy that's doing his list, counting down to the season, who are the best teams in the NFL? Power rankings, off-season power rankings from Frank Schwab, NFL writer, yahoosports.com. He starts at 32, 31, 30. He's counting down from here. 32, coming in, Carolina Panthers. All right. 31, the New England Patriots in rebuild mode. Number 30, say it ain't so, the Denver Broncos. Frank, good to have you back on. How are you?
What's going on, Nate?
I'm doing good, man. So I was really hoping you'd give me a little bit of time here. I'm following your work every time. Okay, countdown is on. And my Broncos make an appearance early. You say number 30. Just give me the big picture. Why?
You know, I just think the roster is bad. It's just been decimated through the Wilson and Peyton trades. I mean, think about it this way. The Broncos traded 5 first and second round picks for Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. And, well, Payton obviously helps them this year. There's no help for the roster from any of those 5 picks, which should be the foundation of your team. I mean, 5 first and second round picks from the past couple of years on the Denver Broncos roster, and I'd like them a lot more. And then this season in free agency, they obviously couldn't do anything because of the Russell Wilson dead cap hit. They were very, very quiet. You know, Josh Reynolds comes aboard. That's a big deal. Like, they just didn't do a lot to improve the roster. And I'll say this, like, a Sean Payton team is just probably not going to go 3-14. It's just impossible. He's too good for that. He's a Hall of Fame coach, I think. So maybe, you know, he digs them to, you know, 6-7 wins like they did last year. I mean, they were alive for the playoffs going into Week 17. He did some real wonders for them, but just the roster. I mean, and it's not like there's a quarterback to save them either. Yeah, Bo Nix could be great right away. We don't know that yet, but it's hard for me to sit here and project the 6th quarterback in the draft class to save a franchise that really has holes everywhere.
Your headline is number 30 Denver Broncos are a mess Sean Payton signed up for. And then I think about that, and I've said that, Frank. I've said, I think Sean made it a bigger mess, and people argue with me, well, you can't keep Russell. But you're talking $85 million dead cap. Sean did that.
Right. Oh, totally. And he had to know, everybody knew, that was a very likely outcome. And the fact that, and I referenced this, that they were already in October telling Russell Wilson, hey, if you don't change your contract, you're benched the rest of the season. I think that's one of the most unprofessional things I've ever heard of in the NFL. But I think in a big picture, it says Sean Payton was never invested in this. He never wanted it. He maybe wanted to make it work, but he really wasn't all that in on Russell Wilson ever. Because this is not something you do less than 2 months into a season in which he wasn't even that bad. Like, Russell Wilson was a perfectly reasonable quarterback last year. He maybe wasn't worth his contract or what they traded for him, but he wasn't terrible either. So this is kind of, if Sean Payton didn't see this coming, he was the only one. The fact that the Broncos are in this cap mess, the fact that the Broncos have traded away so many picks, everybody could see this coming, and Sean Payton should have too. I get why he can't. Look, they paid him $18 million a year to come out of the Fox studio to come coach them. Not many people are going to turn that down, but he had to know that where he sits right now in the state of the Denver Broncos was always the most likely outcome when he signed up for this job.
Frank Schwab in tonight. His countdown's on. The best teams in the NFL, he counts them down 32 down to 1. He's down to 30, and he puts the Broncos there. YahooSports.com for the coverage. I look at it and say, okay, the Broncos seem to be worse right now than they were last year. And I would assume you would say that just because, okay, they didn't make any big moves. They don't have a Justin Simmons, a Josie Jewell. They shipped out some guys. Are they quite a bit worse, do you say?
Probably. Like you said, those are some guys. Justin Simmons is an incredible leader. Josie Jewell's a pretty good player. And, I mean, there's just a lot. There's just a lot that's not there anymore. And I thought, nobody likes to hear this, but they got a little bit lucky last year, right? Like, there was, the Bills game and some of the other close games they won. They weren't just some dominant team for that 5-game winning streak. They caught a couple breaks that you can't depend on happening again. So, yeah, and I just think the quarterback situation, until we know what Bo Nix is, I just don't think you can really depend on much from those guys. Like, like I said in the preview, when your quarterback room is Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and Zach Wilson, your downside is very low. You could be the worst team in the NFL at that point with a bad supporting cast around you. So, yeah, I do think they're significantly worse. But, again, whatever there is to wring out of this roster, Sean Payton's going to get it. Sean, if this is a 3-win type of roster, it wouldn't surprise me if Sean Payton wins 6 games. He adds so much value as a coach. I really respect his X's and O's and what he brings on that side, that you're going to get more than what you bargained for with the roster that I think the Patriots probably have the worst roster in the NFL, but the Broncos aren't that far behind.
Frank, I saw early win totals at 4.5. I've seen some where the Broncos were at 4.5 for the season. I said, it's going to be over that. Now at BetMGM, it's 5.5. So you're kind of leaning like, well, they might squeak out 6. Which way would you say?
I'd probably go under just because of the quarterbacks might be terrible. Like, it really might be. Like, that's just, I hate to just be so blunt on June 20th or whatever, 21st, because you don't know what's going to happen with Bo Nix. And Jarrett Stidham was, 2 years ago, there's a reason he signed the contract he did with the Packers. He played pretty well in flashes, but any team with that quarterback room and not a great supporting cast could go under 5.5. I think it's a fair line. I'm not sitting here trying to rush to the window to bet either side, but yeah, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably go under.
Frank Schwab puts out his rankings, so I do want to go to a couple of the teams. You go Carolina Panthers last. They're really that bad? You don't expect much from Bryce Young?
I don't. It's just hard because they won 2 games by 4 points combined last year. That's how close they were to 0-17, which is almost impossible in the NFL. Like, they were ridiculously bad. Like, of their final 4 games, they had one good game against the Packers. The other 3 games, they scored 6-9 and 0 points. It was just a miserable team. And I don't know how much better they can really get. Like, I do think they're going to be better. They made some additions. I think Bryce Young is going to be better. But until I see it, I can't really put them ahead of 32. I know there is some optimism about them and making a step, because we all did like Bryce Young coming out of Alabama, and they did make a lot of improvements around him. But as it stands right now, you just got to sit with your ranking football teams in June. I got to start with the Panthers, number 32, because they really were not just the worst team in football last year. They were the worst team by a mile last year. It was a really bad situation.
I thought you might go Patriots there, just because it feels like the Patriots they're a long ways off, are they not?
Yeah, they really are. But you look at, I mean, they did have a top 10-ish defense last year. I do have some hope for the quarterback. I like Drake May. Who knows what Jared Mayo is as a coach? I guess who knows what Dave Canales of the Panthers is as a coach? But the Patriots could end up with the worst record in the NFL. There's really only 2 or 3 teams that I'd really say, yeah, they could end up with the worst record. Patriots obviously in that conversation. Let me put it this way. The Panthers were the worst team in football, like I said, by a mile last year. They're not by a mile this year. It's a pretty short gap between them, the Patriots, or whoever, the Broncos or Giants, or whoever else is in that tier. It's not as big of a gap anymore. The Panthers have gotten better this offseason. And the Patriots haven't. The Patriots are just not very good.
Frank Schwab on tonight, YahooSports.com, national NFL writer. Follow him on Twitter X at Yahoo Schwab. You can find him. His off-season power rankings are out. The Broncos out today at number 30. You're based out of Denver. What are people in Denver saying about this number 30 spot?
It's been mixed. It's kind of funny. Some people think you're way too low on them. Some people think you're too high on them. Some are like, how can you not put this team number 32? So it's changed over the. I'll say this about Broncos fans. I think it's changed over the years where they don't have unrealistic expectations anymore. I think they did for a few years, and that's what happens when you get Peyton Manning right after, not right after, but after John Elway, and you had a decent stretch in between there with Mike Shanahan. All of a sudden, you do feel like you're one of the blue blood NFL franchises, but I think that's changed to the point where Broncos fans just want some optimism, something to feel good about. Like it's just kind of beating them down these seasons with no playoffs and the Peyton Manning Super Bowl is a really long time ago. They have not been back to the playoffs since. They haven't had a decent quarterback since. It's changed to where Broncos fans, a few years ago, if I put them number 30, they would have been camping out on my lawn ready to get me. And now they're kind of like, yeah, we get it. We're not very good right now.
You finish off your story and ranking of the Broncos at number 30 with what would the Broncos look like with Josh Allen and Kyle Shanahan? And I said it back in the day, Frank, and I'm a homer because I covered Josh at Wyoming and had him on the show, and my brother played at Wyoming. So I was saying it before the draft. If he's there, the Broncos got to take Josh Allen. They need him, and the Broncos didn't. They hired Vance Joseph. They picked Bradley Chubb when they had Von Miller and Shaq Barrett. The rest is history. Why'd you finish it that way?
Yeah, and it's just kind of a crazy what if. And the Kyle Shanahan stuff, I mean, they didn't want Mike being around because of how that ended, and Joe Ellis, their team president at the time, had hard feelings about that, I guess. Whatever. I don't think that was a smart move, but it happened. The Josh Allen thing to me is just inexplicable. We remember the months before the draft, John Elway was at Josh Allen's bowl game. They were up at Wyoming's pro day when Josh Allen was throwing the ball 150 yards outfield, with that crazy arm he has. How do you not draft him? How do you let a guy like that go? And the funny thing is, I don't know. Somebody can, if you find it, please at me on Twitter so I can read it. I looked for a good solid hour for where anybody really ever grilled John Elway on why, and nobody has. There's surprisingly enough.
I did,
John
Frank, but I
Elway
couldn't get him on the show.
Never really explained why he passed on Josh Allen.
I grilled him, but I couldn't get him on the show, Frank. Okay, I mean I was on him hard, but I couldn't get him on the show. I don't get it. I don't get it. By the way, people say, "Well, it's just because hindsight's 20/20." I mean, that's what they'll say. Is that Josh Allen wasn't Josh Allen back when he was at Wyoming?
True.
That's what they say.
Part of that's true, Nate. I mean, he came out of Wyoming with a lot of questions, accuracy issues. He was third team All Mountain West. I mean, so I kind of get it, but at the same time, wow, it is a pretty miserable mistake by the Denver Broncos to pass on Josh Allen.
And you believe you believe Josh Allen, as the quarterback of the Broncos, probably changed the trajectory here.
It almost has to, right? Like, I mean, you got a guy look at what he did to the Bills. And the Bills had a better supporting cast. And Broncos fans will always say, "Oh, yeah, Josh Allen couldn't have succeeded here because they didn't have the infrastructure the Bills had." And there's something to be said about that. At the same time, Josh Allen's Josh Allen. He's shown he is a pretty darn good quarterback. And yes, there's no question he would have made the Broncos better.
Frank Schwab tonight, yahoosports.com for his countdown of all 32 NFL teams. The Broncos coming in at 30. Frank, good to have you. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Hit him there, yahoosports.com. National NFL writer Frank Schwab on tonight. He gives the Broncos the 30th ranking. And then he had to finish out his story with, what if the Broncos drafted Josh Allen in 2018? I'd be happier. This show wouldn't be so, edgy when the Broncos are playing. Yeah. Don't make me live that. That's a flashback. Don't make me do that. Because you guys know it. I just kind of started the show, I think. We started in 2017, right? Right in there. So I said the Broncos got to take Josh Allen. If he's there, he's going to be there. Bradley Chubb. We had Von Miller and Shaq Barrett. Those were pretty good rush ends. Anyway. Sam Herder's in, FCS analyst, talking about college football and how this might change. I'm looking over here at the Mountain West, and so they're solid right now. They say our teams are fine. They have this Washington State, Oregon State thing hanging out there. The Pac-12 has disintegrated, but Washington State and Oregon State are the Pac-2. How much power does Washington State and Oregon State have over other teams, even in the Mountain West? An interesting breakdown. Sam Herder on next.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Renewal by Andersen. Isn't it time to replace those old windows and doors? With mortgage interest rates where they are, investing in your home now rather than moving has never made more sense. Renewal by Andersen's legendary windows, ensemble entry doors, the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more valuable, energy efficient, quieter, and secure. Please visit RBARapidCity.com, call today, ask about great discounts and awesome financing options. New windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Isn't it time?
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
With Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. Tell me what you got going on with all your fantastic little campers.
Well, if you've been thinking about a camper, now's the time to buy, as you'll save $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the camper model. We're proud to feature the Bushwhackers from Braxton Creek and the all-aluminum and fiberglass Rove lights from Travel Light.
That's right. With all the fiberglass and aluminum construction, there's no rusting, molding, or rotting on these Travel Lights.
Correct. And right now, you'll get the best price you'll get all year on these ultralight teardrop and stand-up teardrop campers.
You just got to see these people. So many options for towing. No need for a diesel or big truck. Most SUVs have no problem towing these.
That's exactly right. With over a dozen floor plans, there's one just calling your name.
Come get yours today, everybody, and save $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the model.
There will never be a better time to buy this year.
Come check them out and save thousands on all campers. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work, and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
That's John Elway's theme song from 2018's NFL Draft. I want to go back and do it all over again. No, that's my theme song of the Broncos Draft of 2018. Okay. Come on, we're having fun today, aren't we? The Nate Brown Show live. Frank Schwab just in from Yahoo Sports, if you missed it. NFL writer at Yahoo Sports. He comes out with all 32 teams, where he ranks them going into the season, does a big piece on every team. He just put the Broncos at 30. It's not great, Frank, last time I checked. Not great. Broncos number 30. All right, Sam Herder's on tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Sam Herder, FCS analyst. Hero Sports. HeroSports.com. Find him on Twitter at Sam Herder FCS. Follow him there on X Twitter. Sam, good to get you back on. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, I appreciate your time. So we've chatted about this, and I think things are going to continue to be discussed. Here's the latest on where's the FCS teams at, where's some of these Group of 5 FBS teams at. I'm seeing this reporting out of the Pac-12/Pac-2. So what's left of the Pac-12 is Oregon State and Washington State. Now, they have this agreement to play some Mountain West teams. So we're going to see that. But moving forward, it's like, well, what's going to happen to the Pac-12/Pac-2? What's going to happen to the Mountain West? I see there's reporting today out there that Oregon State and Washington State really have some power to kind of say, well, maybe we could add teams to our Pac-12 brand. What do you say about that?
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack, and it's all, pretty convoluted. But, originally Oregon State and Washington State had their football scheduling agreement with the Mountain West, and that is still intact, for the next 2 seasons. And, somewhere in that, there's language in that that basically said, there was no contractual obligation for Oregon State or Washington State to join the Mountain West after the scheduling agreement, or for them to do some reverse merger. There's no language that said they have to do that, but it said something along the lines of, we'll work toward that, a fair arrangement or something like that. But, a short while after that, Oregon State and Washington State won some court cases, which basically gave them a whole lot of revenue and a whole lot of money and a whole lot of assets to use. And now they have, I want to say more than $200 million at their disposal. Some of that is used to help them with some of the revenue shortfall that they have, that now that they no longer have a TV deal. Some of it is going to be set aside to pay for potential lawsuits. But there's also, said to be about $65 million set aside for a potential rebuild. And so if you're Oregon State and Washington State, a lot of people are telling them, I'll just get it over with and join the Mountain West Conference already. But they have 2 years, to decide what to do, because they do have a 2-year grace period. And with this, millions and millions of dollars, they can now be a little more flexible, where if they don't get an invite to the ACC or the Big 12, which is their number one priority, is to try to get an invite. If that doesn't happen, they do have money set aside to potentially grab for example, 4 Mountain West teams, maybe 2 American Athletic Conference teams to get back to 8 and keep the Pac-12 brand alive.
That's very interesting. I mean, this is an interesting development because you look at it and say, well, Mountain West, they were hoping, well, we'll give you guys a lifeline. We might bring you in here. These are 2 good brands for us, so let's bring them in. And now these cases and this money to Oregon State and Washington State, now they say, well, maybe our Pac-12 brand was stronger. Maybe we grab, let's see, I don't know, San Diego State, Colorado State. Let's grab some of these and throw them in. If that happens, Sam, you're on the FCS side. Here's what I'm thinking. Well, some of the Mountain West teams that are left, I'm just going to pick one out, maybe Wyoming. What is Wyoming? Some of these other teams, Utah State, what do they do then? Grab the higher-end FCS teams to rebuild the Mountain West?
Right, and that's why I've tweeted some of this stuff out and written about it, because it does have a trickle-down effect, on the FCS. I'm not paying attention to Oregon State and Washington State and what they're doing on the field. I don't really watch a whole lot of Mountain West football, but this whole scenario of what happens, is there a reverse merger? Is there a rebuild of the Pac-2? That all trickles down somehow, some way to the FCS, because if the Mountain West does lose, let's just say 4 teams to the Pac-2, now, the Pac-10, whatever they would call it, what does the Mountain West do then? How do they backfill? They could potentially grab a couple of Texas teams from Conference USA, and then Conference USA has to backfill again with some FCS teams like they've done. Or, the Mountain West could look at the Montana schools. They could look at South Dakota State, North Dakota State. I think UC Davis and Sacramento State have the financial backing and the location to also be on the Mountain West radar if they do have to backfill with FCS teams. And so that's why this is all very intriguing from an FCS perspective, because as your listeners know, the FCS power is the Dakota State schools, Montana State, and one reason why they have been so good lately is because all the East Coast powers, all the Southern powers in the FCS have found a window to get into the FBS. And up until this point, there hasn't really been a whole lot of interest in those teams lately from FBS conferences. Now, again, with this Pac-2 rebuild, potential rebuild, I should call it, that maybe opens the door for these top 4 FCS powers to potentially have a window to get into the FBS. But, like I said, I think I said it, that Oregon State and Washington State have until 2026 to rebuild. Now they want to add teams, a year out, and so we're probably not going to see any movement or any big news happening this summer. But by the time next spring or next summer hits, I think that is when we're really going to find out what Oregon State and Washington State want to do. If they are going to invite some Mountain West teams to join their conference, it probably has to be by July 1st, 2025. And so a year from now, we could be having a whole lot of radio segments, talking about the potential here.
Sam Herder on tonight, HeroSports.com, national FCS analyst, talking about the Pac-2, Washington State, Oregon State. What are they going to do? How would that impact the Mountain West, who they have an agreement scheduling with right now? Here's what everybody says, Sam, and I want to know what you say. North Dakota State and South Dakota State, too remote. They just aren't geographically located very well, and so that's why the Mountain West doesn't want them. Would that change if the Mountain West kind of needs to fill?
Yeah, and that's that's the thing, that there could potentially be a lot of broken hearts in Fargo if the Mountain West loses teams and they backfill with 2 Conference USA teams and Sac State and UC Davis. And I know a lot of fans in the Dakotas will be like, Sac State and UC Davis, seriously? They would choose those teams over North Dakota State and South Dakota State or their Montana schools, but you also have to look at revenue potential and TV markets and alumni base and location and all that. And so, again, this is all hypothetical, but if the Mountain West has to replace 4 teams or 6 teams, 5 teams, whatever in the future, that's still no guarantee that NDSU or South Dakota State gets that invite, but it at least opens the door. And so, again, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, they are, location-wise, not very friendly, but if the Mountain West kind of expands or reloads with the Montana schools, that could, maybe help them stomach a little bit more, expanding into the Dakotas. Whereas right now, maybe that's a little too far into the Midwest for that conference right now.
Good stuff. It's going to be a discussion over the next year, I think, a lot. FCS analyst Sam Herder on tonight. Follow him at Sam Herder FCS on X Twitter. Good follow and find his work at herosports.com. Sam, good to have you. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Sam Herder in tonight on the Nate Brown Show, national FCS analyst, herosports.com. So the moral of the story is this, if you're following this college football thing. The Pac-12 disintegrated. Done. Oregon State, Washington State didn't have a place to go. So they went to the Mountain West saying, hey, can we fill our football schedules? Sure. This is great. Wyoming and Colorado State and these guys, we get to play Oregon State, Washington State. This is great. Now they win some court cases. They get a bunch of money because of how the Pac-12 disintegrated. So now Oregon State and Washington State have a bunch of power. And they might not just go, oh, can we just join the Mountain West? They got a bunch of money. They're sitting here going, now maybe we'll want teams to come in our side of things. How about we take San Diego State? How about we take Boise State? How about we take Colorado State, Air Force? And then the Mountain West might be going, is it time to get South Dakota State, Montana State, North Dakota State? I would love that. I think this is going to be an interesting one to watch. I didn't see that one coming. Oregon State and Washington State get left out in the cold, and then they end up with a bunch of cash for their court cases. They're now the power over there. Kind of the next one, I think, to say, are we going to rebuild our conference with some new teams, or are we going to try and get into the Big 12 or something like that still? Coming right back with Keith Smith. We'll switch to the NBA. Would Keith Smith, national NBA analyst, hire Becky Hammon or J.J. Redick? That's my question of the day. You know my answer. We'll ask Keith next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time to replace those old windows and doors? With mortgage interest rates where they are, investing in your home now rather than moving has never made more sense. Renewal by Anderson's legendary windows, ensemble entry doors, the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more valuable, energy efficient, quieter, and secure. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Ask about great discounts and awesome financing options. New windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time?
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Athlete has a skilled plan moving forward so that they don't return to sport way too early, making sure that the return to contact is an appropriate timing.
And the goal of that is you do not want to have another concussion getting back to it too early.
Correct. If we have another concussion too early, the athlete is at a huge risk of further problems down the road, including anything with their school or memory or continuous headaches.
For concussion treatment, get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show live weekdays 4 to 6 on Fox Sports Rapid City. A lot of ways you can listen. 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side in the Black Hills. Also stream us on your phone, work computer, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Live stream there, brand new online player, easy access, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Never out of radio range there, so you can stream us live. The Nate Brown Show, driven by Spearfish Motors, our partner in Spearfish. Your home for the new 2024 GMCs and Cadillacs. GMC and Cadillac, we are professional grade. If you haven't tried them, you got to try Spearfish GMC Cadillac. They're locally owned. Roger and the crew will get you in a test drive. Let's test out the new GMC Sierra pickup. If you haven't tried it, they're there. 2024 Sierras, light duty, heavy duty right now. Spearfish Motors. Start at spearfishmotors.com. Great incentives right now on financing on some great opportunities. Spearfishmotors.com. All right, big story out of the NBA. J.J. Redick is the new head coach of the L.A. Lakers. No coaching experience, and he's going to take over the Lakers. Keith Smith is on. Covers the NBA. You thought he was done after the finals. No, now the big news breaks today. His show on YouTube, part of Front Office Show, and a contributor for Spot Track, Keith Smith on. Keith, good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing well, and trust me, I know I'm not done. I don't get to, now my job really starts.
I believe
here
that.
with the off season, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I believe that. You're good stuff on this. The draft coming up, and the big news is J.J. Redick gets the job. So I'm biased here. I'm from Rapid City, South Dakota, the home of Becky Hammon. Okay, so I admit I'm biased. But I've been thinking about this. The Lakers looking for a coach. Dan Hurley turns them down. They're still looking. They go back to J.J. Redick. I'm just going to ask you from your standpoint, why it seems like Becky Hammon's now maybe not on people's radar when she interviewed for jobs prior. Why not Becky Hammon getting a look from even the Lakers?
Yeah, I'm not. I really don't know. You're absolutely right. I haven't heard her name connected with an open job in a couple years now, and I don't know if that's just teams have moved away. Maybe she sent signs that she's happy in the WNBA. I really don't have any insight into that. For the Lakers, it was either going to be a splashy hire or a known quantity. There were no real known quantities that they seem to want to move on, so they tried a splashy hire with Dan Hurley, didn't get it done, and now they're moving into J.J. Redick. So it's I want to say a new era for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it is, but we'll see, how it all comes together ultimately.
Okay, so I've seen some reporting done on this. They've crunched these first-year head coaches that haven't had any experience. The Steve Nashes, the Derek Fishers, the Vinny Del Negros, the Kevin McHale's going all the way back with the T-Wolves. Most of these guys haven't done well. The guy who won a title when he stepped in hadn't coached Steve Kerr, but he was in the front office at least. Steve Kerr steps into Golden State, and he wins. So a guy that doesn't have any experience, do we really know how J.J. Redick's going to be?
Yeah, we have no idea. He hasn't even been an assistant coach. I feel pretty confident in saying he's going to have the X's and O's part of this down. He does a wonderful job breaking that down. A lot of people see it publicly with ESPN. That's a big part of what his podcast has been about. A big part of what his podcast network was about was breaking down the game from that side of things. So I don't think that'll be any issue there. But most NBA head coaches will tell you that's a pretty minor part of their job. Most of what they do is they function like a manager. They're trying to get everybody on the same page, from all of the coaches to all of the players to the front office, work within what they're given, and really try to make sure it all comes together in a good, positive way. So with J.J. Redick, a big part of this is going to be the relationship piece. How is he going to function with these guys? Is he going to be able to get them to be able to work together? How are players going to view him, especially? That's a pretty veteran-laden roster. How is that going to go over? That's going to be ultimately what will determine his early success with the Lakers.
Okay, so my perspective on J.J. Redick, I've watched him on First Take, and I've watched his podcast, and I've listened to him on games, breaking down the game. I like J.J. I'm a Duke fan, so I watched him with Coach K. But I look at him and say, he seems like he's, a little edgy. He even points out, I don't mind confrontation. So I wonder what J.J. Redick looks like, or how he operates with criticism when the Lakers aren't playing well, when he's going to get questioned by Stephen A. Smith, whoever it is. How does he operate there?
Yeah, we're going to find out. I mean, we know J.J. Redick is a guy who thrived on being confrontational. He was that way at Duke. He loved getting booed. He's talked about it openly, going places and getting booed, and then ultimately, in a lot of cases, shutting those people up. That was something he loved. And then he was that guy in the NBA, too. He largely played the villain at a lot of places, and he was somebody who had the reputation of, not in a problem way, but like you said, being edgy, being someone who was going to go at you very hard, and someone who was, going to just do things in a certain way. And if part of that was annoying you, that's what he was going to do. We'll see if that carries over to the media. I look at a guy like Ime Udoka in his first year in Boston. He was, at times, somewhat confrontational with the media, where he would come out and say, like, oh, that's what you thought happened? Well, let me explain it to you. Joe Mazzulla has done that now over the last 2 years as well, and he's coming off a championship now. So I don't know that you have to come in and necessarily bow down to the media pressure and the questions that are going to be asked, but I think you have to find a way to do that in a back and forth that is productive, at least where maybe you're doing a little bit of educating along the way as they're questioning you. Because we all know, first time you lose a game, it's going to be, hey, why didn't you do this instead of that? And he's going to have to be able to answer those questions.
Keith Smith on, couple more for him. NBA Analyst Front Office Show is on YouTube. You can watch it. Also, Spot Track contributor. Find him on Twitter X. Follow him at Keith Smith NBA. So he's done this podcast with LeBron James, and everybody throws it out there, Keith, that, well, this is why. I mean, LeBron wanted him in. I don't know about that. We don't know that story. But can you be friends with players?
Friendly, but friends, that's going to be a little bit harder. You need to leave that stuff for, off the court, and that needs to be, the off season and those kind of things. But when you're coaching them, you need to coach everybody. I always go back to, there's a very quote that stuck with me. It was Steve Fisher when he was coaching the University of Michigan, when he had the Fab Five there. One of the media people asked him, don't you have to treat everybody the same on this team? Because he had the 5 freshmen. They were bumping older players out of minutes. And he said, I don't believe you treat everybody the same. I believe you treat everybody fairly. And that's what I think J.J. Redick is going to have to do. You can't treat LeBron James and the 15th man on the roster the same, but you can treat them both fairly. You treat them with respect. You treat them like men that they are, and you try to make sure that they know, hey, my only goal here is to make the Los Angeles Lakers a better team and to win more games than we did a year ago and try to get back into a tie with Boston atop the championship race.
What's your prediction? The Lakers over the last 12 years haven't won a lot. Frank Vogel got them that bubble championship, and then it went down from there. Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Darvin Ham. What's your prediction for the next coach, J.J. Redick?
I really don't know. I think it's less about J.J. Redick and more about roster construction issues there in L.A. I don't think they've fully owned that Anthony Davis is a 5 who doesn't want to play the 5. LeBron James is a 4 that wants to play the 3. He's an older player. Davis is an older player. They just had a mostly healthy season. They like to talk about the number of games missed and all of that, but those games were missed by guys who were going to be bench players. Their starting players were mostly healthy and mostly available, and I don't know that you can expect to have that again. Now, we'll see what they do this summer. Maybe Rob Pelinka has a plan to flesh out his depth a little bit better around James and Davis, build a little bit more functional roster, but we'll see. I mean, J.J. Redick is walking into a really tough situation where it's far from a perfect team. They're probably 7th, 8th best team in the Western Conference as things stand right now, and there's going to be expectations to not only win and be better, but to compete for a championship right out of the gate, because that's what Laker fans believe. So that's what J.J. Redick's going to have to do, and if not this year, then we'll see where that goes in the years down the line.
J.J. Redick hired by the Lakers as the head coach. No coaching experience at all. Stepping in. Keith Smith on tonight. One more quick one, Keith. So Detroit just fired Monty Williams yesterday. After one season, he won 14 games. If you're Detroit, and I mentioned her earlier, I'm trying to get Becky Hammon some respect. She interviewed before. If you're Detroit, do you look at Becky Hammon?
I don't think so. Again, her name's not even being mentioned. I think where they're going to go with that job, Trajan Langdon came in from the New Orleans Pelicans. One of their hires already as an assistant coach, as a lead assistant, is Fred Vinson, who was with the New Orleans Pelicans, and then they fired Monty Williams. That's already kind of a weird thing. But one of the people that they're reportedly considering for the job, James Borrego, who was most recently with the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they're going to try to bring Borrego in, put him with Vincent, with Trajan Langdon running the front office, and try to bring a little bit of stability that way to a team that really just needs a group that is all pulling in the same direction and trying to build that Pistons team back up the way they need to.
Great stuff tonight. Follow him on Twitter, X, at Keith Smith NBA. If you're not, great follow his show on YouTube, Front Office Show. Keith, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time as always. Keith Smith, national NBA analyst. Front Office Show is on YouTube. Great NBA show. Find him. Find his work at Spot Track as well. And Twitter X. Follow him at Keith Smith NBA here on the Nate Brown Show. Question of the day. I just believe that Becky Hammon should be considered. I absolutely believe she should be considered. It's not just a Rapid City thing. It's been proven what she's been able to do, coaching X's and O's, knowing how to do it from an NBA side, now a WNBA side. I mean, we're giving guys jobs that, have done nothing. J.J. Redick hasn't even coached my 5th grade girls basketball team. Come on, have fun with that. Would you hire today, if you're the Lakers, J.J. Redick like they did, or Becky Hammon? If you had your choice, who would you hire, Becky Hammon or J.J. Redick? 62% of the audience voting right now, Becky Hammon. 38% would hire J.J. Redick. It's Becky Hammon. We know who the better coach is. We know that. All right, he challenged me last week. I've never done this going into a season. We've never done it on the show. How can that be? So it's time to do it. Our top 10 NFL quarterbacks today, right now, going into the 2024 season, our top 10 NFL quarterbacks with Rob Kagron live in studio. Happy hour starts next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Precision Mechanical, your local heating and air conditioning company, serving Rapid City, Spearfish, and the surrounding area since 2006. Precision Mechanical is here to help you stay cool this summer. If your air conditioning goes out, they have a technician on call 24/7. Also, if you need a new system, Precision is your local Lennox Premier dealer. For all of your servicing needs, maintenance, or a new system, it's Precision Mechanical. So beat the heat this summer. Just Google Precision Mechanical.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
It's baseball season, and the best place to bet on baseball in Deadwood is at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Watch all your favorite games in our comfortable and spacious BetMGM Sports Lounge with wall-to-wall television arrays. And win big with our brand new Grand Slam Streak promotion. Make a qualifying baseball bet daily, and you could win up to $1,000 just for riding a hot streak. Come play, watch, and win at South Dakota's #1 sportsbook, located at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, where it's always game on.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Isn't it time for new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen? With mortgage interest rates where they are right now, so many people are renovating their own homes rather than moving. And there's never been a better time to invest in awesome new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen's legendary windows have been the best you can get for decades, but many people don't know that Renewal by Andersen also has incredible new ensemble entry doors and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows, which are winning rave reviews from clients. Renewal by Andersen's windows, ensemble entry doors, and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more energy efficient on cold winter nights or hot summer days. Those new windows and doors will make your home so much more quiet and secure. We hear that all the time. Please visit RBARapidCity.com to schedule a free consultation. Be sure to ask about our great offers and really attractive financing options right now. Renewal by Andersen Windows and Entry Doors. Isn't it time?
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting heard weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid.
Welcome back in a Thursday edition of the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're listening. I appreciate it. Thanks to all of our sponsors that make the show and the station roll. Appreciate it. Visit our local sponsors, however it may be, from restaurants to tires to cars. Listen to the sponsors that support Fox Sports Rapid City. We appreciate them. Hope you patronize them. The Nate Brown Show is on. It's happy hour every Thursday. He's back in for more, and he's the one that came up with this segment idea. I said, I don't know why I haven't done this. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks going into a season. Normally it's sports radio. It's like summer's like the time for lists. So I said, let's do it. I've never done it. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks. It is happy hour. It is Rob Kegron, who's live in studio as our guest host on the Nate Brown Show, presented by Firehouse Wine Cellars. Summertime of the Black Hills. Firehouse Wines downtown on Main Street, right next to the Firehouse. Okay, so top 10 NFL quarterbacks, and I didn't catch what you were saying there. What were you saying? I said, are you ready for this? And you said, oh, yeah, I'm ready.
I said, I'm ready. I said, I bet most of them are going to be similar unless you're crazy. And then I realized as I said that to you off air, I'm like, you are crazy half the time.
Let's see how crazy I am. Okay, I'm going to go first. I said, I'm going to start up because I just want to see Rob's reaction here a little bit. Now, give me some respect here. I'm not being goofy. I'm being smart. I'm going with guys that have futures. I'm going with guys that have ability, athleticism. They can extend the play. I'm doing all of that stuff. So let's think about this. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks. Nate Brown Show edition. Right now, I go number 10. It is Jordan Love. Jordan Love's going to get the bag here. I mean, he's going to get the cabbage. He's going to get even more cabbage in the cabbage bag. That guy showed he went to the NFC Championship. You remember that, Rob? He went to the NFC Championship. You remember that?
I saw it, yeah. He absolutely did. He played well in the playoffs.
Okay, so Jordan Love, number 10. He's just slipping into the number 10 spot. Number 9, the other guy in the NFC Championship. How do we disrespect this player? He's made the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy. It is Brock Purdy at number 9, okay? It's an easy one. He's a winner. I mean, the guy just wins. Does Rob have to do a pie in the face for one of our listeners? Because he did lose, though, right? Brock Purdy lost, so he lost. Our listener's going to get a pie in the face.
He is,
to
from
start
me.
The season. Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
And I'll have a smile on my face when I do it.
Brock Purdy, number 9. Number 8, I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. There. It's tough, but he just got paid again. He's a good player. He's a good player, not a great player. He's a good player. You got to go Trevor Lawrence. Number 6.
7.
Oh, you said 10, 9,
Lawrence
8,
was,
7. Okay,
yeah.
sorry. 7. C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud. Just 1 year, but he slung it around. He got the Texans back to life. I mean, they were nothing. And it's all C.J. Stroud. It was nobody else. It was C.J. Stroud. Number 6, Jalen Hurts. Hurts, another Super Bowl guy. He stepped back last year. I was a little hesitant on that. I wonder if he was going to go back to his Alabama days where he kind of starts stepping back a little bit. But I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. Mobile, strong, great leader. He made the Eagles a Super Bowl contender, okay? Top 5. Number 5, I don't love him, but he's good. Everybody tells me he's good. We beat him all the time, but he's good. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. Number 5, the arm. The everything, the knowledge, the release. He's just good. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson at number 4. Kind of raise your eyebrows on that. That's interesting to me.
I'm raising my eyebrows a lot. For those watching on the stream, I don't even know where to go. I could fill up the next 3 hours just talking about your list.
So Lamar Jackson's, you would say MVP. He's a good player. He's number 4. I'm going to go number 3, Joe Burrow. Okay, so now we're getting into the easy ones, right? Joe Burrow, number 3. It was tough for me between Lamar and Joe because Lamar has proven more, in my opinion. Joe, a little banged up, couldn't quite execute there for the Bengals. But Joe had that really nice run. So I think Joe healthy is really good. So Joe, number 3. Josh Allen's number 2. I didn't go total homer on you. I wanted to, but I didn't go total homer. Josh Allen's number 2. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Top 10 quarterbacks one more time. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Top 3, Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Now, I got some guys that are on the outside. They're on the outside looking in. Rob, and you may think, you may know some of these players. You might have heard of them.
Yep.
I'm going to go to Rob Kegron's list and more reaction when we come back.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
Now is the best time to buy an SUV from Danny Menho Rushmore Honda. Choose from late model local trades, Fords, GMCs, Toyotas, Nissans, Jeeps, Subarus, Chevys, and more. Plus, we have the area's best selection of pre-owned Honda and Honda certified pre-owned trucks and SUVs. To make it easier on your bank account, buy with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. The used sport utilities you want are here at Danny Menho Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com.
Are you ready for some rodeo action? Wild West Wednesdays at Heart Ranch Camping Resort are back at Max Steel Arena starting June 26th with weekly rodeos until August 14th. Gates open at 5 p.m. with performances starting at 7. Our first rodeo, June 26th, is Membership Appreciation Night, plus celebrating our 40th anniversary. Tickets available at the gate or at hrresort.org. Thank you to our major sponsors, True Grit RV Repair, Dakota Discount RV, Jack's Campers, Midwest Campers, Camping World, Sanders Sanitation, WeatherTight Exteriors, and All Pro Insulation.
Hi, this is Carrie from Black Hills Harley-Davidson. Summer riding season is in full swing, and I'm here to tell you all 5 Harley stores in the Black Hills are here for you when you need us. All of our locations are fully stocked with truckloads of genuine Harley-Davidson Sturgis Rally merchandise. Available in all sizes to fit just about anybody. Shop the world's largest selection of everything Harley-Davidson at Black Hills Harley-Davidson off I-90 at Exit 55 in Rapid City. Also shop our locations in Sturgis, Deadwood, Hill City, and Wall.
Pomps Tire Service is your low-price headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires manufactured direct and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $265 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $210 in rebates on Michelin, or up to $170 in rebates on Hankook. Pomps Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offers end June 30th. See store for details. Visit us online at PompsTire.com. Pomps, we know tires and service. You should know Pomps.
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish invites you for the best golfing experience that South Dakota has to offer. Elkhorn Ridge has been ranked by Golf Digest as the #1 public course in the state. Off exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers an 18-hole championship layout with breathtaking views and an experience second to none. South Dakota's #1 public golf course is right in your backyard. Book a tee time and hit the course at Elkhorn Ridge. Visit elkhornridgeresort.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Rapid City. Lively start to the Thursday happy hour. You know that's how we like it. Listener text coming in, complaining with my list a little bit, saying Justin Herbert shouldn't be that high on my list. They said, why is Justin Herbert number 5 on your top 10 quarterbacks? Maybe I missed with that. Maybe I missed. Maybe about 8, 9. I mean, he's top 10. So maybe I put him a little high. You might get me on that. But Herbert has all the tools. He just chokes. I mean, he just chokes. But top 10 NFL quarterbacks. It is Happy Hour, brought to you by Firehouse Wine Cellars, your place this summer. Try out the best in the Black Hills. That's Firehouse Wines downtown, right next to the Firehouse on Main Street. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks. That was me. And now let's do it. I'm ready. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks for Rob Kegron. He said, what'd you say? You had 3 guys that weren't even on my list. I mean, am I that off?
Which means that there are 3 guys on your list that don't belong on any list.
Okay, number 10. Here we go.
Number 10 is a guy you do have on your list. You had him slightly higher, one higher. It's Brock Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy does not.
List.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit. The guy's a winner, right?
Yes.
He is a winner. He went to a Super Bowl. They could have won that game. I mean, he is a very, very good quarterback. Is he gonna light it up with crazy stats? No, but he's a winner, and absolutely top 10. So he's number 10 for me.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Number 9 is a guy that was not even on your list, and he never gets credit, and I don't understand why. He should have been to the Super Bowl this year. He's been to a Super Bowl, and it's Jared Goff. Jared Goff does not get enough credit in the NFL. He is an excellent quarterback. He was great the last couple of years with the Lions.
You say he might not even be in the top 15. I hate to tell you, I got him on my list. He's out of the top 15.
You're crazy. What is with your list? How could he be out of the top 15?
Jared Goff?
Excellent quarterback. So, oh my gosh, there are 3 guys that you don't even belong on your list.
But we got 8 more spots to go. But
number 8, Jalen Hurts.
Number 8, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and he took a little bit of a step back last year. Now maybe the team just wasn't firing on all cylinders. He has great talent, and he certainly can move up this list, but I don't think he's there right now going into this year. I don't think he's... I would say 2 years ago, you probably would have been 5 or 6.
I had him at 6.
So I have him at 8.
Okay.
Justin Herbert I have as 7. So just a little bit down from where you were.
That's probably a little better, actually.
Excellent talent, never can seem to convert. Can't find a way to win big games. Can't even find a way to make the playoffs, to be quite honest.
No.
I mean, the guy did have a lot of talent around him. Now, I do think with Harbaugh, he'll be set up for success. It might take a couple of years, but he's still top 10. He's number 7. Now, number 6, another guy. He's number 6 on my list. He wasn't even on your list. Now, I get he's been hurt a lot. But Matthew Stafford is an excellent quarterback.
Number
He's a
6?
Super Bowl winner.
Matthew Stafford's better than C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, right now, yes. C.J. Stroud, and give him another year, maybe he would move up a little bit. Now,
Matthew Stafford's better than Justin Herbert?
Yes, absolutely.
My goodness.
I would take Stafford over. Stafford's a winner. That's the difference between Stafford and Herbert have similar talent levels. Stafford's a winner. And he's way grittier and guttier than almost any quarterback in the league. He takes so many hits, and he still stays in there. Absolutely.
I'm still waiting for Aaron Rodgers. We're already down to number 6. I mean, what are we doing?
Number 5. Aaron Rodgers, of course.
So you put him in number 5.
The guy's an all-world talent. Again, hasn't done it in the playoffs as well as he should have with all the talent he's had. But I'd take him on my team any day. He's that good.
He's as old as you and I.
Yeah, and what does that matter? Tom Brady is older than us, and he still was playing a couple years ago.
This is the big kicker, because I said I didn't put Aaron Rodgers in my top 10. You probably think that's ludicrous.
It's crazy.
It's ludicrous.
There's no way he came. He's in my top 5.
I don't know what he's going to be. He blew out his Achilles. He's as old as us. I don't know what he's going to be. Everybody thinks he's going to be the same Aaron. My guess is he's not. I don't think he is.
My guess is he is. He has a lot to prove. Going to New York, he didn't get any. He played 4 snaps last year?
Doesn't want to practice, but anyway.
4 snaps last year. The guy has a lot to prove, and he has talent around him. And if he ever won with the Jets, it would be the biggest story. Well, it'd be unbelievable.
You won't have to worry about that. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
Number 4 is Josh Allen. You put him way too high for a guy.
What?
Has the guy even been to an AFC Championship game?
He plays for the Bills. Yeah, I mean,
no, he hasn't. He's never been to an AFC Championship game.
Well, he's had to go through the Chiefs every time.
Yeah, a lot of
Chiefs.
Yeah,
they win a lot,
and he makes a lot of bonehead plays, some poor decisions. Great talent. He's top 5.
He might have been number 1 for me. He might have been number 1. Okay. It's close.
If you had said that, I would never come on with you again. I'd be like, I just can't.
I'm glad
I can't look at you, Nate.
That would just be too far.
Number 3. So we just basically flip-flopped a couple of these guys, but number 3 for me is Lamar Jackson. MVP.
Oh, okay.
Another guy who can't seem to win the big game. Didn't play well in that championship game last year. Great talent. He's certainly every year going to be an MVP candidate. The reason he's not number 2 is because the guy who's number 2 is just a bigger winner, and that's Joe Burrow.
Oh, boy.
Joe Burrow has...
That's pretty high.
I would say Joe Burrow is as talented as Mahomes. He just hasn't had as many years, and he's certainly playing for Cincinnati. There's always going to be something to miss with that team.
We think Joe Burrow's a better QB than Josh Allen. He can get you yard. He can run in for as many touchdowns. He can throw the ball as well. He can...
If both of them are healthy, and you give me a choice of those two, to me, it's a no doubt in my mind. You take Joe Burrow over Josh Allen any day.
Oh, my.
And number 1, of course, is Mahomes. Like, there's one, and then there's everybody else, right? He shouldn't even be on a list, right?
I get it.
It's not even close. For you to say that it was close with Allen, it's not close.
When they do battle against each other, it's close.
It's not close, right? It's not. There's nobody in the universe of Patrick Mahomes.
Nobody.
No one.
Well,
it's not Brady. Since Brady retired, there's
Josh
no
Allen has beaten him before, not in the playoffs, but he's beaten him before.
Again, when it matters most, he always finds a way to not beat him.
That's because the Bills. I mean, it's the Bills, right?
How do you not have Stafford in the top 10?
By the way, can I tell you my outside of the top 10? I went a little further for Rob Kegron because I wanted to show you. I do know what I'm talking about, and I'm fair and balanced here on this program. Aaron Rodgers, number 11. I got him behind his little brother, Jordan Love. Okay?
That's crazy.
Aaron Rodgers, number 11. So the guys that didn't make your top 10, who did I have? C.J. Stroud.
He was 11 for me.
Jordan Love and Trevor Lawrence did not make your top 10.
Correct.
What would the Jaguars say about that? They just gave him $55 million a year.
It's the going rate for quarterbacks, but he's not worth.
He's not top 10.
He's nowhere near the top. I'd say he's like
Stafford
14.
Is.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Russell Wilson is close. He's at number 13. Okay,
Russell Wilson may not be in the top 20.
Oh, come on. Don't be that crazy.
Stroud. For me, Stroud, I had Lawrence and Love. Tua is better than Russell Wilson.
Oh boy! Now we're
Dak.
Reaching.
As much as I don't like Dak, he's better than Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Cousins is better than Wilson.
Yeah, they look like it. Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, 12. Russell Wilson, 13. Kirk Cousins, 14. Dak Prescott, 15. Jared Goff, 16.
Okay, in no world is Jared Goff 3 positions lower than Russell Wilson.
Of course. Who had Russell Wilson had better numbers than Jared Goff last year. He had more touchdowns. Touchdown to interception ratio. He was better than Jared Goff. Let's look at the numbers.
Okay, if I could offer either one of those guys to your Denver Broncos, you would take Russell Wilson again over Goff.
Yes, I would. Jared Goff, this is going to be a flash in the pan. Just wait for it. It's a flash in the pan.
I'm not bringing religion into this, but I'm going to pray for you seriously tonight. I'm worried about you.
What a great start to the show here. Happy hour in the books. Top 10 quarterbacks. Now, that was a good exercise. Speaking of quarterbacks, I'm going to stay on this. So, owners privately talked about what? to change how you compensate a NFL quarterback? I guess they talked about this. It was on the Rich Eisen show. What do we think of it next?
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time to replace those old windows and doors? With mortgage interest rates where they are, investing in your home now rather than moving has never made more sense. Renewal by Anderson's legendary windows, ensemble entry doors, the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more valuable, energy efficient, quieter, and secure. Please visit RBARapidCity.com, call today, ask about great discounts and awesome financing options. New windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time?
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Shop a nice selection of certified pre-owned Toyotas at Denny Manhole Toyota and get financing as low as 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on Camrys, RAV4s, Highlanders, and Corollas. That's 5.49% financing for 5 full years. The next best thing to a new Toyota is a certified pre-owned Toyota. Shop the area's best selection at Denny Manhole Toyota or DennyManholeToyota.com. $19.10 per $1,000 finance regardless of down payment with qualified credit expires 6/30/24.
Win big with Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort's $135,000 GMC Terrain giveaway. Earn entries every time you play through June. And with a little luck, you could land in the driver's seat of a brand new 2024 GMC Terrain. Join us every Friday and Saturday for our prize package giveaways. Win $300 every half hour from 8 to 11:30 p.m. and a whopping $1,000 at midnight. Then, on Saturday, June 29th, one lucky winner will drive away in a 2024 GMC Terrain. Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together in putting your family first.
Hey, this is Rob Parker from The Odd Couple. Don't miss our show weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now we'll send you back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. It is Thursday Happy Hour. We are having some fun. I hope you're having a good day. Rob Kegron's in studio on Fox Sports Rapid City. Thursday Happy Hour presented by Firehouse Wine Cellars. It's summer in the Black Hills. Today is the official day that starts summer. Can you believe that? So Firehouse Wines downtown. Great tasting room. Try them out. Firehouse Wines, you can buy them around the Black Hills, but try them out downtown right next to the Firehouse. FirehouseWineCellars.com. So I got a listener text here on Rob Kegron's list since I got Justin Herbert attacked for putting him at 5. I was trying to give him a little bit of love there. He's got talent, maybe a little bit high. Listener text here, Rob is nuts too. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is top 5 right now.
I don't get just because he was hurt. Is that what we're saying? I mean,
he's old. He's hurt. He's old.
Old
we
is
don't know
okay.
what's going to happen.
Old is okay. They protect quarterbacks. So
sometimes the wheels just fall off, right?
They do.
Sometimes it just falls off.
They do, but he still had plenty of talent left in him 2 years ago. Now, again, it's hard to say coming back from an injury, but talent-wise, unless he's not 100%, and I don't see why he wouldn't be. He was close to being 100% towards the end of last season. He's top 5.
Okay. Listener text 720-1067. How you get in touch with the show on the Barron's Wilson text line. Another one. Rodgers is past his prime. Now, that's true.
I think that's a fair statement, yes. He probably only has 2 or 3 years left.
What do we say? That's what happens when you put together top 10 NFL lists, top 10 NFL quarterback lists. You end up with people trying to tell you Jared Goff's going to be this guy, and he's just a guy.
He's
just a guy.
He was excellent last year, and he has been since he's been with Detroit.
Okay, let me ask you this next question. So if you're looking at the quarterbacks and you say it's the going rate, you just got to pay these guys. You didn't put Trevor Lawrence in your list. He's going to get paid $55 million on average a year. Next up's going to be Jordan Love. He's going to get the bag. Jordan Love, one good year, and he's going to get paid big time by the Packers, I believe. So here's what owners have privately talked about. This is from Tom Pelissero. He was on the Rich Eisen show, and he said owners are trying to figure out how they can cap the quarterback position. I don't know if this is even feasible, but they're trying to say, can we put a percentage of this where it's not over 25% of our overall salary? So that's what owners have talked about. So basically, hey, we're going to pay these quarterbacks, but we can't take their one salary over 25% of our team salary cap. Do you believe that's real?
I believe that they want to do that. I'm not sure that the union will ever agree to that.
You wouldn't think so.
No, I mean, they already have a hard cap to cap one position, the most lucrative of them all. While it may help teams be more competitive, I don't see why the union would. Now, again, the union is not the strongest union in the world. They basically gave them an extra game, and they're going to have to give them another game for almost nothing, right? They don't get a whole lot in return. But I like the idea of it. I would be.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because I think we're at a point where these guys are getting paid so much, and the going rate goes up exponentially every year, that having it just be a share of the cap allows you to do so much more with your team that it doesn't get all thrown out of whack. If only they were all like Brady and took less money, but most of these guys don't do that. I can understand why. Well, they deserve every penny they get. But I don't think the union will ever go along with that.
I'm with you on that, and that's why the owners are like, well, it'd be nice to do this. It's kind of an NBA structure, like you can only sign super max so many.
Yep.
So you can't just, hey, we're going to put a bunch of money into these guys. The super max deal is the max. That's it. There's no, well, I'm going to get more than LeBron now, and I'm going to get more than Kevin Durant now. The max is the deal. That's it. I think it's fair because, like, hey, here's our Supermax deal. That's the number. So if you're a quarterback, $56 million a year is the number.
Yeah, and I'm all for that part. I just think if you put this kind of like percentage on it, that is going. You're still going to have the same problem, right? Because the salary cap is going to go up every year. It goes up like 10, 12, 15 million, and so they're going to keep resetting themselves with that. And so I think where it becomes,
that's why they say a percentage. There's got to be a percentage. You can't go over 25% of your team salary.
You'd be scaling that, I guess, every single year. Then so a guy like Mahomes is going to go up, like if it's 25%, right, and the cap goes up 10 or 12 million, he's going to get another 2 or 3 million every single year of his deal,
right?
Just because of that. I like it. I just don't think the union will go along with it.
By the way, the Broncos have Russell Wilson just over 20% of their salary cap this year. And he's not playing for him, in case you wonder.
Yeah, playing in Pittsburgh, maybe.
And we're paying him over 20% of our salary cap this year to not play for us. I like the idea as well. I don't think it's going to go anywhere because people don't want caps. I mean, the players aren't going to say, yeah, let's just cap it. And then you're going to have deals. Is Jordan Love going to get what? What's he going to get now?
I mean, if Lawrence, he's worth every penny that Lawrence is getting. I think Love is a little bit better than Lawrence. I think you think that too.
You 1 year though. No, I had him at number 10. I had Lawrence better, but
but you don't. Where else are you going to go? Right. This is the problem with. I'm paying Daniel Jones at the New York Giants $40 million. He's not worth that.
I know.
He's an average quarterback at best on his best day. So Jordan Love, who actually won in the playoffs, for sure he's going to get 55 to 60 million.
Okay, let's go to our next question of the day. A fun one here with Rob Kegron. We're going to go back in Rob Kegron's life and in my life. I asked the question of the day, what is your favorite summer pastime activity? So I threw in some sports here. I mean, I did sports. Favorite summer pastime activity in your childhood, okay? Let's bring back some memories. So I ask you this. Hit us up there if you would. 720-1067, Barron's Wilson text line. What's your favorite summer pastime activity from your childhood? Our question of the day. We'll answer it next.
You're listening to the Nate Brown.
Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time to replace those old windows and doors? With mortgage interest rates where they are, investing in your home now rather than moving has never made more sense. Renewal by Anderson's legendary windows, ensemble entry doors, the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more valuable, energy efficient, quieter, and secure. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Ask about great discounts and awesome financing options. New windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. Isn't it time?
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Ranch.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, buy to save. Here's a text from Devin in Denver. Hey Culligan, I'd love a water softener, but I don't want to pay for it. Devin, I can't help you there, but a Culligan high efficiency softener can help you save oodles on energy and detergent, so the savings can be even greater than the cost. And I'm getting a mind-blown emoji followed by, yes please. Devin, the savings are already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance of thunderstorms with fog and spots tonight. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Lows level off around 57. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected with fog and spots early tomorrow. Chance for storms. Daytime highs approaching 72. Chance for storms tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 59. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 59 degrees.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at BHOSC.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back into Thursday Happy Hour on the Nate Brown Show. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Rob Kegron in studio every Thursday. Good to have him. Happy Hour on Fox Sports Rapid City, brought to you by Firehouse Wine Cellars. That whole place down there, you got Firehouse Wines next door, you got Skybox upstairs. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's what I'm telling you, okay? No place better for summer in the Black Hills. Firehouse Wine Cellars and Firehouse Wines. If you haven't had them, try them. You can taste them right there in their tasting room downtown on Main Street next to the Firehouse. Okay, I want to have some fun with this, Rob. I thought of this today. I said, what do kids do these days in the summer? What do kids do? Are they out there playing in wiffle ball tournaments like me? There was nothing better in the state of Montana than the Nate Brown wiffle ball tournament. We bracketed the thing out. I mean, it was serious business. And then when I was done beating everybody in the wiffle ball tournament, I played against my brother, and I beamed him with the wiffle ball, and then he charged them out. I mean, we have great memories. Great memories. You got to hit him with the wiffle ball in the face, though. You got to go for the face, the headshot.
What kind of childhood did you have? I wish the listeners could see you. You're smiling.
I wanted to do it.
Thinking about beating your brother.
Yes, I wanted to do it. I don't want to see the charge them out. He's a pretty big guy, though. Played at Wyoming. I learned my lesson. Okay, so I asked about this because we have Summer Olympics coming up, and we get all this stuff popping here, and I said, what is the favorite summertime pastime activity? As we were kids, we're about the same age. I thought, I want to know what you did back in the day, and I just told you what I did. So I gave the audience some options favorite summer pastime activity from your childhood, okay? Maybe it's a little bit, and all these are activities. Wiffle ball, I say wiffle ball baseball, like I think of the Sandlot back in the day. Wiffle ball baseball. Maybe you just hit the pool. You hit the pool right now. It's a little hard to do these days, 65 degrees out here. Riding bikes, the freedom of just hitting the open road, riding the bikes. Or I threw this one in, playing video games. Rob Kagron, your favorite summertime pastime activity is?
Now, I loved riding bikes, and we would ride our bike everywhere. Oh,
okay.
we were on a bike every day. Every single day I was on my bike going somewhere. And this is a New York thing, so I'll have to explain it a bit, or maybe you've probably heard of it, but it's a very New York thing to do, and we did it every single day during the summer. We played stickball in the street.
You did? So you were one of those guys? Really?
Every day.
That wasn't just, they played stickball.
Every single day we played stickball in the street, right? Because there wasn't a lot of room in New York. Despite how big it is, there's just not a lot of fields that you can use, right? So you would just use the street. Like, we would be in our street every day from sunup to sundown, playing as many stickball games as we possibly could. So it's basically like a long broom handle, right? Very thin, and you use this like rubber, like a blue rubber ball, right? And sometimes there's even a pink one too. And the pitcher would just like bounce it into you, and
it's
you would
baseball, but it's stickball. The ball
it was
didn't
tricky.
break any windows.
No, never broke any window. And you would be playing on a narrow New York street, and so the bases were usually cars.
Right.
It was the tire of a car.
I love it.
And it was not the easiest thing to do because that stick is way thinner than a baseball bat, right? And so we would play that every single day during the summer. The only times we wouldn't play, and we would never play a video game, only if it were raining. That was the only time we weren't outside.
Okay, I do have to admit, I did play some video games. You know, I go back into the day, the Sega Genesis, the Nintendo, back. You played some video games in the summer. How about this version of stickball? So you're New York City, you're playing stickball, so that wasn't just a made-up thing when you had pictures of kids doing that. Have you heard of corkball?
I don't think so.
So here's the version Midwest. This is Montana. We had the stick. It was the stick. We went to the tennis courts. So you played with a tennis ball and a cork bat.
Yep.
And you tried to, and you got points by hitting it over the net, by hitting it over the fence. Corkball, little Midwest version. You never heard of it?
No, but we did sometimes play with a tennis ball. It's similar for sure.
Okay. Stickball, little Montana corkball. What was your best summer pastime activity as a kid? Question of the day on the Nate Brown Show. Let's look at the results. Listener text, we used to play tennis ball just like baseball, but used a tennis ball, so no broken windows. So
we would do that sometimes.
Similar. Sure. Listener reaction, what about the county fair? Well, I mean, maybe you probably didn't hit too many county fairs in New York, but I went to the county fair, but that's only a 1 week thing. It's like the Central States Fair here. That's 1 week.
So we would have street festivals in New York all the time. Like, they'd bounce around all different neighborhoods.
Okay.
So we would do that often enough. You'd have almost one every week.
What was your best summertime activity? People are voting. We're up to 100. 40% wiffle ball baseball. So similar. You're stickball. I'm wiffle ball.
We played a lot of wiffle ball, but it was more, you did that like at night, right? Like when you could play that in a small setting. If you had a lot of guys, it was tough to play wiffle ball. We would way rather play stickball.
I was a huge wiffle ball fan. I don't know how many wiffle ball tournaments we did in my town, but we were the wiffle ball tournament headquarters at my house. 40% wiffle ball, 30% I just hit the pool. 24% riding bikes. That's a big one. I mean, you'd probably throw in a little wiffle ball and riding bikes. We'd head down to the store, get the penny candies. Yes, Sour Patch Kids were 1 cent each back in the day.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I don't think anything was 1 cent in New York.
1 cent.
Yeah, that
1
was
cent.
in Montana, not New York.
That's amazing. 6% say they played video games. Listener text coming in. Camping and fishing. Yeah, around these parts for sure. Best summer Olympic sport. That's how we'll wrap up the show. Olympics next month. What's the sport you watch the most on the way?
Not finding the truck you need? Look to Spearfish GMC. Over 24 Sierra HDs in stock and on the way. SLE, SLT, Pro Package, AT4, Denali, and Ultimate Edition. All available now. Sierra 1500s too, with savings up to $7,000. And the new GMC Canyon is in stock, starting at around $47,600. GMC, we are professional grade. Spearfish GMC. Online at spearfishmotors.com.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Race into summer in the seat of a newer pre-owned Harley from Black Hills Harley-Davidson. With over 500 Harleys to choose from, we are sure to have your next ride. Join us for our Race into Summer open house this Saturday. The first 140 people through the door will scratch and win a guaranteed prize. Plus, register to win a 2024 CVO Road Glide ST. We'll have burgers for free lunch at 11:30 a.m. and happy hour all day. It's the Race into Summer open house this Saturday at Black Hills Harley-Davidson in Rapid City.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Black Hills Community Bank. If you run your own company or you're looking to start a small business here in the Black Hills, you want to make sure you choose the right banking partner. And I know the right choice for business is Black Hills Community Bank. They have plenty of banking options to suit your specific needs. And Black Hills Community Bank is here to help business owners thrive and to make sure you have the support and tools to help your business grow. Just contact one of their business loan experts today or visit bhcbank.com. Member FDIC.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live happy hour on a Thursday, brought to you by Firehouse Wine Cellars. Firehouse Wine Cellars downtown, right next to the Firehouse on Main Street. First day of summer, hey, get down to the Firehouse. They have a great patio, great wine tasting next door. Firehouse Wine Cellars, the reminder, this summer, your place to enjoy summer in the Black Hills. Rob Kegron's in studio. We've had some fun today. A little bit of fun. I mean, it's good stuff. If you missed some of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. We'll be putting that up right now. Okay, Nate Brown Show podcast available. Apple, iTunes there, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got every show right there. So I asked the audience, what is your favorite Summer Olympic sport? Let me ask you first, Rob Kegron. Olympics next month. I've been watching the qualifying. Swimming's been going on a lot, so I've been watching that. Katie Ledecky and the crew, really, really good. Track and field qualifying's, I love that. Summer Olympics, you like it? You love it?
I like it. I don't love it.
You like it?
I like the Winter Olympics more than I like the Summer Olympics. Unpopular opinion. I know.
Is.
Yeah. I love the summer. I love the Winter Olympics. I love the skiing. I love. There's just a lot of interesting kind of goofy sports in the winter that you don't get to see. Like, I love curling. I told you this before. I can't get enough of curling. I'd watch it all every day.
My goodness.
I get so into the curling. There's so much strategy to it.
Why don't you do curling here? Why don't you join the curling club?
Because I'll just keep falling down, probably.
I mean, if you're that passionate, that's the most passion I've heard about curling right here in the last 10 seconds. You got to get into the curling club. So you like the Summer Olympics. Your favorite Summer Olympic sport is what?
Swimming, for sure. I like
it. Is.
And what I really like in the swimming is I like the relays. I like when they have
those are great.
And they're tag teaming each other in. Like, I really, really enjoy that. But yeah, I like the track and field.
It's track and field. That's it. Number one.
No,
track
swimming.
And field.
It's swimming one.
Listener text going to agree with me. They just sent in track and field, so that's 2.
Okay.
2 for track and field.
I lose.
I mean, come on. Michael Johnson, Carl Lewis, Usain Bolt. I mean, Summer Olympics is track and field.
Michael Phelps.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Swimming's a little monotonous. It's a little bit butterfly, freestyle, a little monotonous. I've seen a lot of swimming. It's like figure skating in the Winter Olympics. Every time I head home from the show, it's figure skating. Every time I come home in the summer, it's going to be swimming.
Yeah, I don't like the figure. I like short track speed skating in the Winter Olympics.
You like that one. Good stuff. The Nate Brown Show in the books on a Thursday. Fun to have you on board. Rob Kegron in studio. We will not live down our top 10 NFL quarterback list. They will go into infamy as the season approaches. Rob Kegron in. The Nate Brown Show podcast is going up. Firehouse Wine Cellars every Thursday. Happy hour. Enjoy the night. And the Odd Couple is next.
Winners at Yankee Stadium.